Hello, I'm Katie. Welcome to my cinematography video showcase, in which I will share how my skills focusing on motorbikes have developed over the course of the semester. I've frequently been told I have an eye for composition, so was thrilled by the chance to explore my creative side more in this unit. My interest in cinematography grew during my Cinematic Perspectives unit in second year, when I got to experiment with lighting independently for the first time. I have ridden a motorbike for nearly 4 years and find it thrilling. A few months ago, I decided I would like to train to be a camera operator on the back of motorbikes when I finish university, which is why I have chosen to focus on motorbikes for this unit. I already make motovlogs with my GoPro, but want to develop my camera skills when working with vehicles further. Vehicle stunts are a major part of many films and TV series. I would like to work with vehicles in some shape or form, whether that's as a tracking vehicle precision driver like Abby Eaton, who works on the Grand Tour, or working my way up to becoming a camera operator for action films, such as Marcus Paulus, who works closely with stunt coordinators. Camera work and motorbikes are very male-dominated areas. I am keen to find my way into this area and make my mark. During my industry research for this unit, I came across 3 companies that I would consider working for. I attempted to contact Abby, who works for Driving Wizards, but had no response. I intend to follow this up in the coming months as I am really inspired by her and would love to find out more about her career path. Vickers Action offers one of the largest ranges of camera tracking vehicles and equipment in the world. Their riders are highly experienced in motorcycle tracking, which I hope to work my way up to one day. Medium Motos provide specialized vehicles for tracking of all types of productions, including live broadcast of some of the world's largest sporting events. I decided to get in touch with Phil Rowe, who said that working from motorbikes has taken him all over the world. I would love to learn how to operate from a bike whilst I'm young and have few commitments. Phil kindly offered for me to help out with a cycling event in April, which will allow me to meet people who work in this area who might be able to train me up. I originally chose 10 skills to develop, but realised this was too much to take on, and there was no underlying theme. Once I had chosen motorbikes as my single theme, I redid my skills audit and learning agreement to focus on 3 key areas. I wanted to develop my skills from the lighting workshop further by doing a photo shoot of a motorbike with colourful lighting to demonstrate my advance. Learning how to film safely with vehicles was really important to me based on my career ambitions. I passed my drone theory test a couple of years ago and wanted to develop my skills further, so I am able to capture aerial footage for grad project and work my way up to potentially becoming a qualified drone pilot. I also updated my learning agreement so it was relevant to my goals. For my first lighting workshop, I got creative with filter gels on tungsten lamps to experiment with colour. During my second workshop, I had the chance to use Aperture Nova P300C LED panels. It was useful to compare the two and practice colour concepts such as complementary and analogous harmony. For my photo shoot, I took the UN Sustainable Development Goals into account by opting to use LED panels and switching off equipment when not in use. I had no idea how to light a motorbike, so researched studio motorcycle photography and tried to follow Carl Taylor's advice. I also watched motorbike adverts and noticed the complementary harmony and colour symbolism used, such as red representing power and energy. I came across this studio portrait photograph by Freestyle Photography and was struck by the dramatic use of lighting. I wanted to recreate this look to showcase my dad's motorbike. My aim was to create strong contrast and separation in an expressionist style. I was able to organise the whole photo shoot myself, from development through to colour grading. I created a lighting floor plan in Shot Designer after having watched the basics of filming a chase scene using Maya, a software I hope to be able to use in the future, which is used for 3D animation and visual effects in the industry. I tried 3 different colour schemes, one of which was analogous, but this made it difficult to separate the bike from the background. My favourite combination was red and blue because it gave the bike a sense of character. I tried out different angles of view and realised that getting low on the ground for a low perspective made the bike look more prominent and powerful. I focused on capturing the bike's best attributes and experimented with having the headlight on and off. Upon reflection, it would have been useful to use at least another 2 to 3 lights to highlight edges on the wheels and the side panels of the bike more, as the images were so low key. It wasn't originally on my learning plan to learn more about colour grading in post, but this happened naturally when reviewing the photos I had taken. I decided to teach myself the basics of colour grading in Lightroom. On the left we have the original image, and on the right are a couple of edits, having made some adjustments. I was shocked by how easy it was to completely change a singular colour in the image by adjusting its hue. I changed the hue again on this image, which is desaturated by adding its complementary colour, to make it more of a cyan blue and orange. Boosting the luminance on the blues really helped to highlight the metal frame more. In the bottom left image, I felt the bike was merging into the backdrop, so changed the colour palette to secondary colours, to exaggerate the contrast between the now purple background and the green bike. I also increased the saturation of the orange brass on the forks of the bike. In the future, I would make sure to use more backlighting to separate the bike from the backdrop. Overall, I felt the composition of the images was strong and the photos were crisp and professional looking. Learning how to film safely with vehicles ensures I am able to make a professional contribution to a project utilising vehicles in the future. I now feel confident I would be able to incorporate a vehicle into my grad project safely when collaborating with my team members. Having read HSE Safe Filming and Recording with Vehicles and Met Police Guidelines to Filming on the Move, I believe I would be able to create a thorough risk assessment and give the driver a health and safety briefing. To improve, I need to learn about relevant insurances such as public liability and employer's insurance. Drones are substituting both static cranes and helicopters, providing aerial shots without the expense. Keen to improve my drone skills, I learnt about non-parametric and parametric camera motion types and studied how to do them on my DJI Mavic 2 Pro. Chase, lead, flyby and flyover shots are typically used in the filming of cycling races. These are currently often accomplished using a camera on a motorbike, which I hope to learn in April with Phil. I made sure my pre-flight survey and risk assessment allowed me to be adaptable, for example, if the weather turned. I had quite a few technical difficulties once I reached the location, such as the DJI app crashing, intercom through the helmets failing, and batteries not being fully charged. On top of this, there was a winter chill and my dad was getting too cold, so we didn't have much time to film. I managed to get a couple of good takes out of the limited footage I recorded. However, the exposure levels weren't right, and I mainly got various types of long shots. I got some B-roll of the fog to establish the scene, but the majority of the shots I got of the bike were tracking from behind, which shows the beautiful scenery but isn't giving enough attention to the bike and the speed it is going. Next time, I would like to try the flyby and flyover shots and make sure I get some close-ups and mid-shots to cut between. One of the most well-known examples of the use of drones is in Skyfall, where they have been used to capture motorbike chasing scenes and beautiful landscapes. The film's most memorable scenes would have been impossible to shoot in a pre-drone era. The landscape and fog that I captured reminded me of the scene in Glencoe, Scotland, so I thought I would compare the two to reflect on how I could improve.
Storm's coming.
I imagined if Bond was riding to the Skyfall house on a motorbike instead of driving. In the future, I would take more time adjusting the camera settings as the colours appear muddy and the sky is overexposed. I would also like to try shooting in D-Log, which preserves highlights and shadows so colour grading looks better. I'm happiest with the second shot as I believe it is composed the best. In the final shot, it seems that the drone switched to auto exposure, which is jarring for the viewer. Next time, I will make sure to get some static and front-on shots of the bikes to cut between. I felt I had not captured the essence of speed due to mainly using tracking shots. I plan to incorporate the shot types on the right-hand side in the future to really make the viewer feel like they're part of the action. Inspired by We Can All Ride with Sophie Morgan, in the near future I hope to make an inspirational film encouraging women to get into motorbikes, which will advance gender equality. This will showcase action for Sustainable Development Goals, especially goal number 5. I am pleased that I achieved all of my learning agreement aims and my performance level for the 3 skills I wanted to develop have improved. Now that I have an approved drone risk assessment and motorbike risk assessment, I would like to incorporate filming a chase scene into my grad project. I plan to contact Phil in 3 months' time to learn more about what it takes to be a camera person on the back of a motorbike. I'm going to start putting together a portfolio which reflects who I am to hopefully get a job lined up as a camera operator. When on my placement, I learned a little bit about production insurance but didn't understand much. I'm on good terms with the production executive that was in my team, and he said I could ask him any questions I have as he has lots of experience in this area across many feature films. If the idea of becoming a precision driver still appeals to me in a few months' time, I'm keen to earn my Class 1 HGV licence and potentially look into stunt driving school. All I know is I'm keen to be a part of the action, whether that is in or outside of the vehicle. Here are my references.